Hey friend, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Megan from Grey Arrow Tarot, and today we are going to look at why your future spouse will choose you. And I'm excited to get into this one because it is just a good question, but also because this is a question that came from the community. This is something that someone had asked to have a reading on. And I always love to deliver readings that you want to hear about. So you can always feel free to make a request. I have said this in a previous video, and requests have increased. So I can't promise when I will get to your reading. But if you want to know about a topic, you can go ahead and leave it in the comments, and I will fit it in when I can. So on to today's topic. We are looking at, again, why your future spouse will choose you. So you can go ahead and choose your group, choose your deck. You cannot choose wrong. Whatever deck is speaking to you has at least one message for you here. This is going to be pile number 1. This is pile number 2. This is pile number 3. And this is pile number 4. If you would like some extra time, you can go ahead and pause the video here. Otherwise, when you're ready, you'll find the timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you at your reading. Hey Pile 1, welcome to your reading. Let's see why your future spouse will choose you. So you saw we have one card that just flew out of the deck there. Let's see what else we've got. Why will your future spouse choose you? Another one that flipped over. Why will your future spouse choose you? I think that one came out. Let's get one or two more for you. Why will your future spouse choose you? All right, 2 more, perfect. Okay, let's see what we've got for you. Pile number 1, we have the 9 of Wands reversed. The 8 of Crystals, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups reversed, the 5 of Wands, and the 10 of Swords reversed. Okay. So this is really interesting because when the 9 of Wands came out right away, one of the first messages I got is one characteristic of yours that your future spouse is going to find very attractive is your ability to overcome. And with the 10 of Swords coming out on the, to kind of bookend this reading, also in the reverse, like this is, to me, it's just magnified because both of these cards speak to overcoming a certain type of challenge. And we'll get into the specifics of each one when we get to the card. But there is, I think, a real resilience in you. And it's a quality your future spouse is really going to value. I also think like what I'm getting is as a whole, like big picture, I feel like it's your history. It's your story. I feel like is what your future spouse is really going to deeply value about you. And I feel like even the parts that you find messy with the Ace of Cups coming up here in reverse, I feel like it's like the way you have shaped yourself and allowed a new version of yourself to emerge. And the relationship that you've been able to create with yourself is, again, just a very attractive quality to your person. But there's just this, like, I really feel like it's your story that's attractive and the experiences you've had, but more than anything, it's how you've responded to them, how you've grown as a result of them, and the person you've become as a result of them. So I feel like if there is anything in your history that you feel a little vulnerable or you feel like, oh, I don't know if because I have this thing or I do this thing, I'm interested in this thing, that this it might make me unattractive. I feel like that's exactly the reason your person is going to be attracted to you and why they're ultimately going to choose you in the end. But let's get into this card by card. So here with this 9 of Wands reversed, like we talked about, I do feel like this is a sense of overcoming obstacles, especially because it's interesting. We have both of these reversals. To me, I feel like kind of what I'm getting is another message for you specifically is this person I feel like will come in after you've overcome a certain amount of like hurdles, struggles, obstacles type of energy, just because we have both of these cards coming up in the reverse. Now, it doesn't mean you can't meet this person. Like, timing is different for everyone, but for most of you watching this, I really believe that it's like it's after you make it to the other side, because it's like these experiences are healing you in a way that you don't realize, and they're helping shape you in a way that you don't realize, and it's helping you claim more ownership of yourself and claim more authenticity of who you truly are. And it's that authenticity, it's that connection to your authenticity that is ultimately why your person will choose you. So you have to go on that journey before you can truly come into union with this person. But again, that doesn't mean that, like, you know, everyone's journey happens at a different time. But for most of you watching, it's going to be like after you've overcome the big hurdle. So with this Nine of Wands, I feel like, again, this reversal to me is indicating it's like this is something that's in the past for you. Nine of Wands speaks to struggle. If we look at it, I love the imagery that we have here where we have these wands and they're in this circle, and we have these 3 wands that are like rising up. Like, it is literally an evolution, an elevation. And because of this, the card itself can speak to a time when you've struggled. Like, you've climbed the mountain, you've done the hard thing, you've strived towards the goal, and you kind of got knocked down. You had like it's not an easy climb is kind of the energy. Like, you have had to put the effort in, you have had to put the work in, but you have this resilience that you just felt the need to keep going. And this reversal to me is indicating that energy is behind you. Like, you've reached the pinnacle, you've gotten to the top, you rose again. Like, that's also a key energy of the Nine of Wands, is that it's rising up again. It's even though you've gotten knocked down, you know that the goal is important, or whatever it is that you're striving towards is important enough. It's worth the journey. And again, I feel like that is something that your person is going to find very attractive. It's a quality that they are really going to value in you. And it leads us really beautifully to this Eight of Crystals. So the Eight of Crystals, or it's the Eight of Pentacles in a more traditional deck. But this speaks to someone who's willing to put the time and energy in to really master something and to do it right and do it well. And I feel like for you, like I think for you in particular, there's an energy of balance here. Like, we have this character who's holding 4 moons on each side within each hand. And I feel like, so, and also I love that we've got like this grounded energy where this character's feet are in the grass on the ground. So I feel like it's like kind of what I'm getting for you is that there's this energy of like really being committed to something. And I think that's also going to be very attractive. Like, your person is going to want to commit to you because you are going to want to commit to them. It's like, because there's, I think they truly see you as an equal. Like, they see you as someone who can match their energy and their commitment. And I feel like they might not have always had that in the past, where like I think they've been the person that's more committed in the relationship, that's giving more and not receiving their energy back, being reciprocated to them. Where one thing they're really going to value about you is they feel like you match their energy, you match their commitment. And you're willing to put the work and the time and the effort in. So it's not just like it's what you've overcome. I think that shows a certain amount of resilience and dedication, like we were talking about with this Nine of Wands, but also you just have this committed forward motion, but also really learning to do things correctly. The Eight of Crystals speaks to a sense of mastery, but it's learning the skills. It's like in the past you've learned the skills, or you're committed to learning them and putting them into practice. And I'm getting like, in this case, I do feel like it's like relationship skills, relationship tools. So I feel like you probably have a lot of emotional intelligence, and this person does too. And it's them like seeing you again as an equal, someone who's really willing to be as committed to this relationship as they are. And overall, this grounded nature, I feel like there is a groundedness in you that they are going to find attractive. There's a steadiness in you. Again, because I feel like you have done your work. And you have done the shadow work. You've gotten curious about yourself. You've done the growth, the healing, etc. And it's left you in a fairly grounded place by the time you are coming into union with this person. Now with the Ace of Swords, I think it's also really interesting at the heart of your reading here, we've got 2 aces coming up. So aces are new beginnings. And I feel like in general, that also might be part of what is going on for this person. Is I feel like when they meet you, I feel like they might already be in the middle of a new beginning. And you coming in just adds to that. But I also feel like there's a really fresh energy for you as well. And part of it, I think, is like, and this is where sometimes, if our person, like typically soulmates tend to mirror each other in certain ways. Like sometimes I'll get comments in reading like, oh, like I just picked a pile that described myself. It's not you. It's not saying you're meant to be with yourself forever. It just means that your soulmate is likely mirroring you in a certain way. And that's what's coming up in the reading. But what we've got here is I feel like you might also be like when you meet this person, building something new, trying something new. With this Ace of Swords, this speaks to a real breakthrough. It speaks to like again, I feel like you've been trying something, you've been really working towards something, and I feel like you have the breakthrough. Like you've gotten something off the ground. It's still in its fledgling stages when I think this person comes in, but it's like you've done the heavy lifting, you've launched something, and now it's time to build it. So like I'm kind of getting, like if there is something, like if you've been wanting to start a business, you've already laid the groundwork and you've actually started it by the time this person comes in. And I think they're going to be really inspired by what you've built so far, but also how you show up to the things that you care about. And again, going back to the Eight of Crystals with the sense of balance, I feel like that's also something you have in your life. So as much as they're going to be inspired by your ability to launch something and to be dedicated to something and really grow and nurture it, I also feel like you are good at stepping back and having time for friends, family, that kind of stuff. So there is, again, this balance within the relationship that it's not going to feel like to them that they're always second place. And vice versa, because they're not going to make you second place. They're not going to make your relationship second place. So it's important to them that their energy be matched in that way. And I feel like, so like you've got this thing that you've built, that you've launched, that you've done the hard work for, and now it's about maintaining it and growing it. Like it's still in the fledgling stages. I love that we have these wings here. Like I feel like it's like you have just taken flight. And also too, I feel like there's going to be something really magnetic about that coming from them, because, or like that they're going to see that very magnetic energy coming from you, because it's like there's that kind of like excitement about that, where it's fun, it's free, it's new. And yes, there's uncertainty there, but you got it off the ground, and it's now you're in the position to actually do the thing, to be living the dream. And there is excitement around that. And I see your energy being excited and being kind of playful with it. Like, yes, you have to do the responsible thing, but also being in this place where you're having fun, or you're having fun with what you've built and what you're building. And I think that is also going to be very attractive. That like, yes, you're doing the necessary things, but you're not taking it too seriously. You're allowing for fun, you're allowing for play, you're allowing yourself to enjoy the process. And I think that's, again, like that's going to be a reason that they choose you, because life is a process, right? Life is the journey. So if you get too focused on reaching the end result, you're never going to have fun along the way. And this is going to make your relationship really fun. And your person is really going to value that in your connection. Now with this Ace of Cups, and the Five of Wands is giving me some very specific messages. And I feel like at some point you have had to do some real inner work. Like this Ace of Cups to me is developing a new relationship with yourself. I feel like you meet yourself in a new way than you have in the past. And that's part of what led you on this journey. Like, I feel like, again, like you've already done this work, but it's like you are now in a place where you fully embody it, where you are truly living this energy. And it's very grounded in who you are. It's grounded in your truth. It's grounded in your authenticity. And you're willing to embrace that. You're really willing to embrace this energy. And as much as it's like, there's an element of it that I think is a little unexpected, because you don't do what everyone does or what people say you should do. You've learned to connect with yourself and do what's right for you. So there's a little bit of like surprise in that I think is attractive, but also it's the self-confidence that you have and the self-trust that you have, again, is just very attractive to this person. They like that you don't really second guess yourself. And if you feel like you do right now, that's okay. It just means there's more to develop here. That's fine. We all get there in our own time. But the point is, I do feel like there's an element of self-trust that comes in that by the time you are on this journey and building this thing and this person's coming into your life and like actually making a decision to choose you, you are in a place where you trust yourself. You are in a place where you are grounded in who you are and what you want. And it's just very like calming to be around. It's very, I'm not finding the right word for it. It's very settling. Like it's just very, I guess coming back to it's very grounding. And it's very attractive. I think it's also going to help this person too feel good about you choosing them because they see how intentional you are with the other choices in your life. So they're going to feel a lot more confident and comfortable in this relationship when you choose them, and it's going to make it that much easier for them to choose you in return. Now with this Five of Wands, I really love how this card is depicted. Now, this is the card, I've said it before, I will say it a million times. When this card comes up for me, it's a big card of like everyone's talking and no one's listening. So you have, and I love like this card, we have this person who's sitting and there's all of these wands that are like really angled at her head. And it's like each of these is a thought, each of these is an idea that like from outside, from the outside world that's trying to enter her orbit and trying to push her in a different direction. But I love that she is sitting here in a very meditative stance. She is going inward. So I feel like by the time this person's coming in, by the time they are truly choosing you, you've reached a point where you are really connected to yourself, where you can drown out this noise. And by all means, you'll grab an idea if it resonates with you. You'll grab something that like the universe is sending you. But you can really drown out the noise. You can drown out the other opinions that aren't coming from you and see what's actually aligned with you. You're able to drop in. You're able to go inward. And it just creates a sense of calm and peace. Like I feel like you are not someone, and if this doesn't fully resonate, like you're evolving into this person. But by the time you're coming into union with this person, you are not somebody who's like really scattered. You are not somebody who is into drama or rushing and hustling. Like there is a sense of like intentionality with this pile. And I think that is a really big factor to your person choosing you. Because that's just in alignment with the life they also want, where they don't want a life with a partner who is running and you're constantly going in different directions and it's just kind of crazy and chaotic and all of that kind of stuff. I think we all know that energy. Where with you, yes, there is prioritizing. Yes, there is commitment. Yes, there is moving towards something that's valuable, and there's a lot of fun and play when that's happening, but there isn't a lot of like fits and starts. There's not a lot of going in multiple different directions. Like it's much more intentional. It's much more targeted. And I think there's something very, again, grounding about that your person is really going to value. Now, with this 10 of Swords reversed, what I'm getting here, it's really interesting. In this depiction, we've got this kind of mirrored situation where we have the swords. They're actually kind of moving away from each other. But really, it's a reflection. It's a reflection. We have the mountains here, the mountains on this side of the card. This is a reflection. And I feel like one of the most attractive things is there is something that is very much a reflection. Like you two reflect in each other really well. And like we talked about at the beginning is I feel like one thing that's attractive to you or attractive about you to this person is your story, is your history. Because I think there are similar things in their history. I do think there are things that they've had to overcome. I think there are things that they've had to really work and strive for. And even like struggles, I think you might have, even if you don't have the same struggle, it's like the feeling is the same. Like you're going to be able to relate to each other really easily because there have been similar situations that conjure up feelings that are going to be very just easy for each of you to understand. So I think part of, again, like why your person is going to choose you is because you just really connect. You really relate. The experiences and struggles that you have are just so easy to understand that I'm just getting, it's just a very deep connection, especially intellectually and emotionally. There's a very deep connection between you. All right, let's add some oracle cards in. What else do we have? Okay, here we go. All right, so here is more reasons why your person chooses you. Bravely market your magic. I think this is part of the appeal, is like you, I think, are very open about your magic. Like that's what I'm getting with this Ace of Swords and this Ace of Cups energy, is like you fully own who you are. You fully own your power. You own what you're able to do and offer the world. And that's bravery in owning yourself in that way is so incredibly attractive to your person. Stop, drop, and ground. More confirmation. Yes, your energy is grounding. And I want to say this too, because I feel like some of you might be like, I feel like I'm anxious all the time. I don't feel very grounded. That can happen, and you can have a grounding energy. I've been there. Like I've been in situations where people tell me how much they love being around me and my energy, and they feel so calm when they're in my space, but I'm like really anxious and wound up about something inside. Both things can exist. I think ultimately our core energies shine through. And for you, your core energy, I really believe, is a really safe grounding space. I think you offer that to others, whether you intend to or not. It is just something that you carry with you. What else do we have for pile number 1? Holy Grail, stop the endless searching, inner quest. Okay, so what I'm getting with this is with stop the inner searching, inner quest, if you have not started this journey, like we were talking about with this, like meeting yourself in a new way, et cetera, that should be your priority right now. I feel like this person's going to find you. The stop the endless searching, you don't have to be doing the searching. For some of you, I'm getting like, you don't have to be on the dating apps. If you really feel called to, don't let me stop you. But I'm feeling like you don't need to be on the dating apps. Like you need to be in the world. You just need to show up and live your life in the way that feels the most magical to you. And your person's going to find you. Like in a way, I almost feel like they're choosing you from the start. They're reaching out to you from the start. All right, last messages for pile number, this one wants to come out, pile number 1. All right, we've got dance. So dance is a very powerful form of embodiment. It's a good way to get out of your head, to get into your body. Again, going back to meeting yourself in that new way. If you are not taking regular dance breaks, that might be really helpful to you. And it can only be one song. Like maybe a couple times a day or even just once a day. Just take a break and dance. Literally dance like no one's watching. It's a really good way, again, to get out of your head, get into your body, connect with yourself on a new level. And what I found is when I make time to do this, I bring that energy into the rest of my day. It's a very playful way to connect with myself. And it brings that energy. To me, it's that what we were talking about with this Ace of Swords energy, where like you have this breakthrough and you're in this kind of fun and playful energy. So this might be a really important way to get there. And also breathe, which is syncing up to me with this Ace of Cups and 5 of Wands energy. Make space to really step back, breathe, connect with yourself. That connection to self, I think, is really crucial for you. It's good because that grounded nature and that authenticity is a big reason why your person is going to choose you. So the more time and space that you put into cultivating that and nurturing that, the better you are going to be. Not just your relationship, but you. Like that authenticity is going to come out. Your life is going to get better and more improved. And that's naturally going to bring this person in for you. That's naturally going to lead them to choose you. You don't have to try so hard. And on that note, pile number 1, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you in future readings. If you would like a personalized experience, I always have personal readings linked in the description box below. You can go ahead and find them there. I also have linked below a donation link if a reading is not right for you, but you still want to support the channel. All of the money I get there just pours right back in to this channel to help it grow. But no matter what, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's see why your future spouse will choose you. Have one card flip over. They're really flipping over for you. It's got a couple more. Couple more. Perfect. Thanks, Spirit. All right, so let's see what we've got for you. First up, we have Justice, followed by the Seven of Pentacles, followed by the Seven of Cups reversed, followed by the Ten of Wands, followed by the Knight of Swords reversed, followed by the Wheel of Fortune. I love this. Okay, so here's what I'm getting. I feel like, we're going to get into the cards more specifically in a moment, but when the Wheel of Fortune card came up, I feel like one reason your person is going to choose you is one, because I feel like you are able to really create your own luck. Like, I think you have that ability within you, master manifestor energy. And if you don't feel like that's true, I believe you have the potential. It is a skill to be cultivated. Everyone's going to be at a different place in their journey. But I do feel like you have master manifestor energy and you make them feel like they can do anything. So it's not like they're just going to like expect you to use this energy to do all of the good things and create all this good stuff for you and your relationship and your world. But no, it's that when you tap into that energy, you inspire them to tap into that energy. And you make them feel like they can do anything. They can chase their dreams. They can chase their goals. And your belief in them is going to be so attractive. So attractive. But overall, I feel like there is a sense of patience and balance within you that is very appealing to your person. I also feel like your willingness to help. I think you are a helper. I do not feel like this person is going to take advantage of that. I want to be clear. But if you are willing to step up and help out, like, I think, again, that's a very, very attractive quality to your person. And I don't feel like it's just like to help them. Like, I see you just being helpful in general. And if anything, they might be like, well, let me help you. Like, if you're helping others, then let me help you. Let me take care of you while you help others type of energy. So let's get into, one last thing I want to notice. We do have 2 sevens here. So 7 could be a significant number in your relationship. This also speaks to a real sense of growth. Like, 7s are kind of when you reach the point in the journey where it's like you've done the bulk of the work, but there's still a little bit further to go. You know, like 7 is like the cards go up to 10, the minor arcana. So like you are closer to the end of your journey. So I also feel like that could be a message for you if you are not with this person yet. This person is pretty close to coming in. So let's get into the cards more specifically here with Justice. So I feel like this is probably, with this being one of the major arcana cards. Oh, it's really interesting too that we've got your reading is bookended by the major arcana cards. So yeah, I think the fact that you are very balanced, and I think there's a real sense of fairness with you that I feel like in general this person is not used to. Like I don't feel like you're the type that's going to, again, like dump everything on them, expect them to do everything in the relationship, but also you're not going to do everything either. I think there is, because to me, like the sword of truth, I feel like it's like that's where like you are balanced, but you're also willing to speak your truth and say when things are not okay. And I think that honesty is going to be very attractive, but also being able to be in such a balanced relationship. And I feel like I don't feel like you're going to have to ask a lot of this person. Like I do feel like this is a very engaged person. This is somebody who wants to show up. So it's not like you're going to have everything on your plate. And going to have to say like, no, like I'm doing too much. No, I think if anything, it's like, again, like I'm getting this big helper energy from you that it's like, they're going to have to feel like they have to match you because they're not going to want you to be the person doing it all. So they're going to try to step up and really, really, be at your level is kind of what I'm getting. I feel like almost like what I'm thinking is, you know how there's that phrase like, oh, that person's out of my league? I feel like this person might see you as being out of their league, but it's not going to stop them. It's going to make them rise up. Again, especially with that energy we're talking about in the Wheel of Fortune, like I feel like they're going to see it as, I want to be with this person. There's so many attractive things about them. So I need to rise up. I need to step up. I need to be there for them in the way that they need. Now with the Seven of Pentacles, this is a card, there's two messages I'm getting, and you might resonate with one or the other or both. In general, this is a card of patience. It talks about planting seeds and knowing you have to let them grow. So I feel like for most of you, you are probably a pretty patient person if you've chosen this group. And I think that's one thing that your person is going to be very attracted to. There's not a need to rush through things. Like, I feel like even in your relationship, you're not going to want to rush through the stages. Like, it's not, yes, you might want a relationship, but it's not about just being in the relationship for the sake of it. You want to make sure you're with the right person. So you want to go through the steps of getting to know someone, deciding if they're right for you, all of that stuff. And it's not about rushing the process. But I feel like that's also how you just approach life. Like, you're willing to be in the moment. You're willing to do what's necessary to nurture and grow the things that are important to you, whether it be relationships, projects, career, what have you. It's not like your goal to skip steps and make it to the end. And I think that kind of like presence is going to be very appealing to your person. I feel like they might be a little bit more end goal focused. So to have you be like, well, why don't we just enjoy this moment? Like, why don't we just be right here and enjoy the rise? I think they're really going to like that. And it's going to help slow them down a little bit in a way that they're going to really appreciate. Now, for others of you, I also feel like you are really willing to plant seeds, to try new things and grow things. I think like you are probably really nurturing, because the Seven of Pentacles, like we talked about, it speaks to planting seeds. It speaks to nurturing them to growth and letting them take that time to grow. So if there is something you want to do, I feel like you're someone who is like not afraid to plant the seeds, not afraid by the time that's going to pass in the growth process. Just knowing that, yes, this is something I want to do. This is something I want to try, something I want to learn, what have you. You're willing to try new things. You're willing to plant those new seeds. And I think one reason that's going to be really attractive to your person is because it really keeps things fresh. Like, they kind of never know what you're going to be drawn to next, what new thing you're going to bring into your life together. And it's just fun for them. It's fun for them to see what new thing you're interested in, because inherently you're going to teach them about this thing too. Inherently, they're going to learn something that they never saw coming. And I just feel like they're going to find that very enjoyable. Even if they don't get as into the new thing as you do, you being open to trying new things and learning and growing in this way is going to be a lot of fun for them. Now, with the Seven of Cups reversed, I feel like with you, one thing that they're really attractive. So the Seven of Cups, when it's upright, can speak to you have a lot of different choices. Like there's lots of options that are available to you, and it can almost be overwhelming. Like you don't know what to choose. And part of the message of the card is that you really can't judge your choice. Like each of these cups is supposed to represent a choice, and you can't really judge your choice by what you're seeing at the top of the cup, because you don't know what's inside. You don't actually know what's underneath the wreath, what's underneath the money, what's underneath the tornado. You don't know. So there's a level of this card that's like you kind of have to trust your intuition. You might have a lot of choices available to you. It might feel overwhelming, but you have to trust your intuition. When this card comes up in the reverse, I feel like that's already a quality that you have. Like this is something you've already cultivated. You've gone inward. I feel like you probably already are an intuitive person. That might be what drew you here. So I think your intuition and your ability to discern based on feel is going to be really intriguing to your person. And just like they're going to see that as a very unique thing. Because as much as I do feel like tarot is much more popular than when I started reading 6 years ago, it's still not completely mainstream. It's still not something that's like a normal thing. It's not at the level that yoga is, where everybody is like open to the idea of yoga. We're not quite there yet. So I feel like it's kind of, so this idea of intuition, your ability to trust your intuition to make choices that way, and the unique peace and direction that you get from living that way, I think is going to be really attractive to this person. Because again, most people don't live that way. They think things through, they plan things. And of course, there's a time and a place for that. But our society is so driven by that I think your person is going to find your intuitive approach to be very interesting and refreshing. And it's something they're going to be very open to as well. Now with the 10 of Wands, this is what's giving me the impression that you are a helper. I feel like sometimes you might be prone to taking on a little too much. I can relate to this energy, so, no judgment. But I do think there are times where you can, you take on too much. And for some of you, even if you don't fully resonate with the helper energy, the idea that it's like perhaps you are very multifaceted, very multi-interested, and you find yourself spread too thin on more than one occasion. I feel like this person is going to appreciate either your helpful nature or your drive and dedication. Like as much as you might be doing too much and you might recognize that you have to pull back or you might need support, especially if you are helping someone else for like a shorter period of time and you might need support, you might recognize you have too much on your plate, is my point. And even if you recognize that, there might be times where you feel like you can't quite step back or you need to step back or you find yourself in cycles where you keep adding to your plate because either there's things you really want to do or there's people who need help, whatever it is. And I think ultimately your person is really going to appreciate about you. They're going to want to help you where they can. They're going to want to help you, especially if you are in that helper energy where you are helping others, they're going to want to support you through that. So if you have to be someplace by a certain time, they might want to drive you just so that you can rest in the car, like that kind of energy. And I also feel like if you are somebody who is multifaceted and multi-interested in things, they might want to learn some new things with you just so that they can spend time with you without taking you away of something that you care about. So there is this energy, like with this card, I'm getting like you taking on too much for one reason or another, but them being involved in that, them appreciating your interest or your desire to help, whatever it is, whatever your reason is for taking on too much. And the thing too with the 10 of Wands is like, this isn't necessarily a lifestyle. So it's not like you're always going to be overextending yourself. Just from time to time, you might find yourself in that energy. And this person is going to be here to support you however they can when those times come up. And they're even going to find, again, your desire, the reasons behind what get you into that situation. They're going to find that attractive. They find that really unique about you and really interesting. Now, with this Knight of Swords, as much as you might take on too much, I feel like this Knight of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles energy are kind of like echoing each other for me, because the Knight of Swords is a very fast-moving energy. It's very charged forward when this card is upright. When this card is in the reverse, for me, especially in your reading, it is about slowing down. It's about pulling back. So like, yes, you might have new ideas. You might have lots of different interests. You might want to, get involved in those things. But there's never this energy of rushing with you. Or to me, it's almost like if you're in the energy of rushing, like that's when you know things are too far. Like that's when you don't like it. That's when you know you have to pull back and maybe take some things off your plate. But overall, I feel like you are not somebody, by the time you're coming into union with your person, you are not somebody who rushes. You are not somebody who is living a life going from thing to thing and trying to keep up with people and over involved and overextended and never having time for each other. Like, again, it's hustle energy, I guess is what I'm getting. And it's like breaking free of that. Or you are somebody who has broken free of that. And it helps your person slow down. And I think they appreciate that grounded nature. They appreciate that presence. Again, we've talked about presence before. They appreciate the presence that comes from being with someone who is slower, more grounded, more connected. And it's a speed of life they like. Like that's part of what leads them to choose you, is because you're ultimately helping them live at a pace that they really, really enjoy. And now with this Wheel of Fortune, we kind of touched on this already. But yeah, I do feel like, I think you have a lot of good fortune around you, because I do feel like you have this master manifestor energy and you're really able to tap into that, and you make them rise up. You make them want to do more. You make them want to strive for more too. And I think too, there's something that comes from people who are really good manifestors is they believe in other people because they've done things themselves. You know, they've created things for themselves. So because they have that ability to create and they know it's possible, it's very easy for them to then believe that other people can make their dreams come true too. It's very easy for them to get in that cheerleader zone. Also too, I think because people who are master manifestors are also typically pretty high vibrational people. And I feel like that's you as well. That's going to be a major point of attraction here too. It's part of why your person's going to choose you, but I do feel like you are very high vibe. So you are inherently, your cheerleader, your vibrational nature is going to want your person to rise up even higher. Now, I don't feel like, there's, of course, like attracts like, I feel like this person coming in is probably already at a pretty high vibe place. But there's still something about it that I feel like your energy, your belief, your openness and drive and desire is just really inspiring them in some way. And that the way you make them believe in themselves is one of the most attractive things to them. It's like, it's that kind of thing. Like I forget, I don't know if this is a saying or if it's just kind of become something that people talk about, but it's like you want to be with people who make you feel good. Like you like who you are when you're with them. And this person really likes who they are when they're with you. All right, we've got one card that already flipped over you for our Oracle card. Oh, two. Okay. So here's some extra information about why this person will choose you. External validation. Okay, so I think it's interesting we have these headphones. I almost feel like there's two things I'm getting. Like one, it's like this idea of like drowning out the noise. But also with external validation, I feel like you validate them. You validate your person in a way they have never been validated before. So I'm almost getting like perhaps they are like, I feel like, okay, so we talked about like if you're here, you are probably very intuitive, especially if you've chosen this group. We were talking about the Seven of Cups. I feel like your person might be like low-key spiritual interested and into this kind of stuff, but maybe people have told them that's crazy, that's weird, don't believe that, whatever. You coming in with this perspective and this openness and like being more grounded in your belief system that is very similar to their own, but they've been afraid to believe it, you're going to give them this external validation that's going to literally make them feel like they are not crazy for their beliefs. And that's going to be really powerful for them. And I was talking to someone about this somewhat recently, like, external validation I think sometimes gets a little bit of a bad rap. Like, yes, we don't want to live our lives like needing the external validation to exist or to do things or to show up. But we know validation is important. We know how important it is for people to validate our emotions, to validate the paths that we're walking, the people who are close to you, the people who you trust and whose opinions you value. It does matter when they validate you. So I think there's going to be this really reciprocal validation circle happening between the two of you. And I think this person is going to appreciate how much you value their opinion, but they're also really going to validate or appreciate the validation you give them. And here with cut the cords of doubt. Yeah, you don't have, if you have any doubts around your relationship or your journey to your person, you're being encouraged to let go of those doubts. You don't have to worry about it. Trust yourself, trust your intuition. I feel like most of you kind of know this, but some of you needed this confirmation. All right, let's see what else we have for pile number 2. Sophia, divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within, destiny. Yeah, I feel like this lines up with the cut cords of doubt card a little bit. Like, there is a divine plan for you. There's a divine plan for the two of you together. You don't have to worry about this union coming together. You're going to know it when you see it. I feel like this wisdom, like I'm getting this intelligence within, like you're going to feel it. You just don't overthink it is kind of what I'm getting for you. All right, any last messages for pile number 2 on this connection or about why their person will choose them? All right, we've got self-care. So make sure you're prioritizing your self-care. Make sure you're prioritizing your own connection to self. The instinct of drowning doesn't always require water. It's like you can, especially if you are feeling burnt out, overwhelmed, if you're feeling like you're drowning, you need to take time off. And I feel like this card is actually kind of is coming up for me as being connected to the 7 of Pentacles. For you, some kind of self-care might be planting a new seed. There might be a new seed or new interest that you might be feeling drawn to that it would be really beneficial for you to get involved in. I'm not sure why that's coming up as being relevant. It could be that's how you meet this person if you haven't met them yet. But yeah, I almost feel like as an act of self-care, you're being encouraged to take on a new interest or to embrace a new interest. So you can take that how it resonates. And we've got prudence. So I feel like you need to know your person might proceed a little cautiously. And that doesn't mean anything bad. I just feel like there might be a reason that they are kind of going to take things slow and intentional, which could also be part of why they value your patience. There might be a reason for them that they need to move a little bit slow. And of course, slow is always going to be relative. Speed in connections is always going to be relative. But for them, I feel like they might move a little slower than you might expect. All right, well, on that note, pile number 2, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I would really love to have you in future videos. If you would like a personalized experience, you can always find personal readings linked in the description box below. And if that's not right for you, but you still want to support the channel, I also have a donation link. Donations are never expected, but always appreciated, and it just goes to support the channel. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, Pile 3, welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at why your future spouse will choose you. So we've got 1 card that came out for you already. There's 2. What else do we have for Pile 3? I think one may have just flipped over. Give me a second to check. Nope, okay. What else do we have for pile number 3? Why will their future spouse choose them? I think we want, let's see if we can get, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll see if we can get you 2 more. 1 or 2 more. Just 1 more. Let's see if we can get you 1 more. There we go. All right, we got you 2 more. Okay, so first we have the 4 of Swords, followed by the Hierophant, next we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed, and the Ace of Swords. We've got the 7 of Swords, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Cups. Let's see if we can get everyone in the shot here. Okay. So, first of all, let's see. We've got 2 7s coming up for you. We've got 2 aces coming up for you. And 2 4s coming up for you. So first of all, the fact like twos could be a significant thing for you. Like you might start to see things coming in twos in your life, or just couples of things when you start to partner up with your person, when this person comes in. You could also find, so like also, all right, so let's just get into the numerology of this a little bit. So with the fours, that speaks to manifestation. So you might find that like things are going really well for you. Like you might be a very easy manifester. Can also be stability. So I feel like you'll probably be, you're either going to find that this connection brings stability, or you're in a stable place when this connection enters. Aces here, we've got new beginnings. So I feel like there is something that's like blooming either within you or around you. And this, again, and this connection could facilitate that. And with sevens, this is like assessment. So kind of like stepping back, weighing your options. So you might find yourself kind of in like a contemplative place with this connection. Like there's almost like, I'm kind of almost getting like the energy of like being able to slow down and think about things. And again, that could be either your energy as you enter this connection, or that can be an energy that this connection brings out within you. But now, why this person chooses you? So the first thing I got, let's just get into the cards right away, because we've got a lot to get through for this group. With this Four of Swords, the first thing I heard when this card came out was like, you let them rest. And I don't mean like they're sleeping all the time. Like you give them a place to let their guard down, that they don't have to try or pretend with you. I feel like honesty is something that's really important for you. And I feel like this person is really going to appreciate the ability to just be themselves and to not have to like put up a front. Like if something's bothering them, they get to tell you, oh, this thing is bothering me. If they are tired, like they can just be tired. They don't have to put on a happy face and pretend to be this really energized version of themselves. And I mean, of course, this is always going to be reciprocated. So I feel like the fact that you're able to create this space for them makes them want to do the same for you. But as for why they choose you, I feel like I don't think they have a lot of people in their life who does that. Like, I feel like this is somebody who is a little bit of a giver. They do like to, like, I'm just getting this energy from this card of somebody who does a lot for others, who's good at kind of reading the room and reading a situation. And they will, of course, extend that to you. But there's this, they almost have this desire to, or this, not desire, but this feeling of like always needing to be doing for others. And I feel like you're someone who doesn't overtake and gives back to them just as much as they're giving to you. And it creates this place for them to rest and replenish their energy in a way that, again, like I think other people do, like they now expect this person to really show up for them, and they ask for lots of favors, and this person likes to be, not just likes to, I feel like they have the capability to be helpful. And because they have the capability, they like to show up in that way for the people they care about, but sometimes it is too much. They don't have an infinite energy well, none of us do. So I feel like that perhaps the biggest thing is that you give them space to rest and just be them, to show up without having to put on a front. And I do believe that's going to bleed into other areas of their life. They're going to be able to be a little bit more honest, a little bit more authentic with people, because you're creating the space for them to do that. Now with the Hierophant, this is a really interesting card, because when this came out, I'm kind of feeling like, I feel like you are very wise. I feel like you are very wise. You might have some intuitive abilities. You might be into spiritual stuff. Like, you might not need me to tell you what the cards mean, just share my interpretation. You might already have an understanding of tarot and spirituality, etc. Because I feel like one of the reasons your person is attracted to you, like the Hierophant is a spiritual leader. Hierophant is also a teacher. So you might identify with one of those roles. And I think that is very attractive to your person. To some degree, I do think they will learn from you. They will like seek guidance from you. But this isn't about necessarily your direct relationship to them. I feel like this is more the role you have in the world. you teaching others, you educating, you spreading messages, using your intuition if that's what resonates with you, but showing up in the world in this really connected way. And really being able to, like, trying to reach people. Like, I feel like for a lot of you, because that's the thing with the Hierophant, like, the Hierophant is here to reach people, to spread a message. And this could be like, you could be a YouTuber, you could have your own social media platform, you could be a teacher literally in the world, like you go to school and you teach people. It can be anything that kind of fits that umbrella of just somebody who is, or also even like a spiritual leader, like we talked about. You could be a tarot reader, you could do any of the things. But the point is, I think that's your, like, one of the roles you identify with, and that is something that your person is going to find incredibly attractive. They are going to be very inspired by what you do. They're going to be very inspired by how you influence and uplift others. And they in turn will be inspired and uplifted by you as well. But it's more the presence you have. It's more the energy you give off and the way you conduct yourself as a result of this role. Because this is the thing too. Anytime you are in a spiritual leader or teacher role, there is inherently a level of confidence. We all have to build it to get there, but I feel like by the time this person is coming in, like, you've built it up. So if you're in the process of building that up, keep going. Like, that's okay. But you've really built it up by the time this person has come in, or even you might be in the process. It could be like by the time, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. You could be in the process of building up this confidence when this person comes in, but by the time they make the choice to actually choose you, you are in this energy fully. You are owning your role as a teacher, as a mentor, as a spiritual leader. And the way it's like the confidence that you have in doing that is very attractive to your person. They love the way your confidence in your abilities. And the thing that I don't think we talk about enough is it's not just being confident in our abilities, it's the way our abilities shine when we're confident in them, right? Like, of course, we all have phases when we're learning something new that we're not the most confident, that we are just learning. And sometimes natural gifts and strength comes through, and it's always really exciting when people see that and recognize it. But I don't know about you, but I have always found as I get more confident in my abilities actually get better and stronger, and people are more receptive to them. And it's in part because it's not just that I'm confident about them, it's what my confidence is able to create as a result. And I feel like it's like that kind of energy, that what you are creating is really valuable to the world. And that is really powerful to your person. And your confidence in your creation is really valuable to your person. They really find that attractive. Now, with this Ace of Pentacles reversed, I feel like for you, so the Ace of Pentacles, it can speak to a new opportunity, like a new financial opportunity, maybe starting something new, going on a new financial journey or career journey. It's that kind of energy. It tends to be tied to your career and finances. It could also be tied to health, but for you, I'm really thinking this is more related to your career and your finances. And I feel like this might be an area where, like, I'm almost like these two cards coming up together. I feel like if you are somebody who at some point has tried to monetize your gifts and struggled, like tried to get something off the ground and struggled with it, I think they're going to find it attractive that you try and that you put the effort in. And I think that you don't give up. And even if you're not looking to monetize your gifts here, we'll get to that interpretation in a moment. But for most of you picking this pile, especially if you are resonating with the teacher, spiritual leader energy, I feel like it's like you're in this energy and you're wanting to put this out there. You're wanting to have, like, whether it's your YouTube channel or or even just a website, like some kind of social media, a business of some kind around this skill, around your messaging. And I think for a lot of you, it's been a little bit of a struggle, but I feel like you haven't given up. And if you're on the verge of it, I think this card is here to tell you not to give up, because your person finds your persistence in this area to be really admirable, and they see the value in what you offer. And I ultimately do think, I don't know how much like timing wise, what order things are going to happen, but you're going to get a breakthrough. That to me is what this Ace of Swords is talking about. You're going to get a breakthrough. I also really love how in this reversal, we have these like hands that are like, it's coming out of the same cloud almost. It's almost like here's the struggle and here's the solution type of energy. So if you need to hear this, here's the message. But also I feel like even if this is not something you want to monetize, if that's not a struggle that you've had, I feel like this is going to be true for anything that you have wanted to grow and nurture with this Ace of Pentacles. Like if there is something, some kind of business, something with your career and finances that you have really wanted to make happen, but have struggled to make happen, your person is really going to admire your persistence, because I do feel like you will get the breakthrough. With the Ace of Swords coming up, you will get the breakthrough. You will get this emergence. You will have the opportunity to really shine in whatever this is that you're trying to make happen. And your person is actually going to really respect your failures. Your person is really going to respect the struggles that you've had, because it's in those struggles that you haven't given up. And that persistence, I think, is a really, really attractive quality to them. And it also speaks well, I think, of a relationship. Like, of course, we don't want to stay in relationships that aren't serving us. But if you're making a commitment to somebody, you also want someone who's going to make a commitment to you and do everything you can to make it work. And I think that's also a factor that they're really going to value and appreciate. So over here with the Seven of Swords, I feel like there is a very strategic nature to you. So this is so interesting because we've got the Hierophant here, which we were talking about being a spiritual leader. I do feel like most of you do kind of fall on the spiritual leader spectrum of things. Some of you might be teachers. Again, that's totally fine. But I think most of you watching this kind of fall on the spiritual side. So we have this intuitive spiritual energy. Then we also have this practical strategic energy. Like, I do think you are very intelligent, especially we've got 2 swords cards, 3 swords cards coming up here. So I do think you are very intelligent. And I think they are very intrigued by this balance and dichotomy, that you have this deep intuitive gifts, this deep spiritual awareness and spiritual belief, while also having this grounded brain power. I think that's really interesting to them. And I think, again, it's something that makes you unique. Like, I think just that you are so balanced in this way. And at least to them, I feel like it's probably not uncommon to have people who are both spiritual and really smart, but I think a lot of people, the outward perception is that that's not true. Like, people tend to think that you aren't using your brain as much if you are using your intuition, and they have to work together, right? So I think you are very smart. You are very strategic. So I think they appreciate that balance. They appreciate that, yes, you are intuitive. Yes, you are the spiritual leader. Yes, you are going to trust yourself first and foremost, but you're not unreasonable. Like, people can have a conversation with you. People can make a logical appeal to you, and you're going to hear them out. I think at the end of the day, with this card coming out so prominently, you probably are going to trust your intuition above all else, but you're going to hear people out. You are someone who can be reasoned with. You are not like someone who's super stubborn or whatever. There's just this real balance between your brain and your intuition that I think is really powerful and really attractive to them. And now with this 4 of Pentacles, you know, it's interesting. I'm really being drawn to the pentacle that's sitting on top of this character's head. So the 4 of Pentacles tends to speak to kind of like a gripping energy. It's like holding on too tight. And to a degree, I do think, like, I feel like you're probably somebody who holds tight what you value, who holds close the things that you value most. And I think your person is going to appreciate that about you. But the thing I'm being drawn to, the fact that we have this pentacle on this character's head, yes, you're going to hold close what you value. But also, it's almost like you also give things room to breathe, room to fly, and room to expand. So I think your person appreciates that as much as you pull people in, you also let them go. Like, I'm getting like a real lack of controlling energy coming from you in this pile. And that's specifically what this person appreciates. And then here with the Seven of Cups, you know what I heard when I was picking up this card just now was like, you create opportunity. I think you are really good at creating opportunities for yourself and maybe even for others. Because this card tends to speak to like having an abundance of choice. And the thing about this card too is that you can't judge what you're seeing on the top of the cups alone. Like, you can't judge your options by what you're seeing. You have to also trust your intuition and decide, because you don't actually know what's under these cups. Like, this cup here looks like it's got a lot of money and like jewels and good things, but you don't actually know what's underneath here. So it's this idea, I feel like you're able to generate a lot of opportunities, a lot of options. But also, I think one thing your person's going to really appreciate is that you're discerning. Like, you aren't going to take just the shiniest thing because it's the shiniest thing. You are really going to feel into it. It's like, okay, but do I want the shiniest thing? Do I feel like the shiniest thing is actually going to benefit me? And if the answer is no, for whatever reason, you're going to pick something else. And I think your ability to kind of step back and weigh options in that way is, again, just very attractive and very appealing to your person. All right, let's get some oracle cards on here for you. What else can you tell us for pile number 2? We got a couple things coming up for you real fast. All right, get back to elemental. So I feel like this is a call to get back to the basics. As much as we talked about, I do think you are very smart, and I think you do have a very powerful brain, but I feel like this card is kind of asking you to get out of that energy a little bit. Come back to yourself, come back to your body, come back to the elements of the world. Get back to the basics. Get back to grounding into yourself. Let your intuition guide you a little bit more. Reconnect with that piece of you. I think it's going to be really important for you moving forward, especially if you are not in union with this person yet, or not like in connection with this person yet. Coming back to yourself is going to be a big way that you open yourself up to this person and like allow your intuition to guide you to your next steps. Next, we have unstick the stuck. So I'm wondering if some of you watching this pile are feeling a little bit stuck, perhaps in your love life specifically, but also just in life, because I feel like energy can kind of stagnate. And when one area is stagnated, it can bleed into others. So I feel like you are really being called to get to the root of what's got you a little stuck, even if it's in one area, what have you. What can you do to move your energy? How can you, and I do feel like these cards are connected. Like, you have to come back to yourself. You have to come back to your intuition. I'm really getting big messages for you of getting out of your head right now. I feel like this group, like, your brain is beautiful and powerful, but it's not what you need right now. What else do we have for pile number 3? What else do we have for pile number 3? We got 2 cards came out for you here. The Breathing Rose, heart healing and emotions connection, time eases. Yeah, I'm feeling like this goes back to this heart healing emotion connection. I feel like this, like, there's a sense of connection to self. If you look at the way this character is holding herself, I feel like you are really needing some connection right now. Like, I'm not even feeling like this is specific to why your person is choosing you. I feel like it's like this is helping you get on this path to this person so they can choose you and you can choose them. There's just a deep need that I'm getting to really connect with yourself. And then we've got Brothers of the Rose, sacred masculine honor, protection, support. And what I'm feeling for some of you, you might need to heal your relationship with the masculine a little bit. Everybody has both masculine and feminine energy. So this applies whether you are looking to come into union with a masculine or not. But we have to have a balance. We have to have a healthy relationship with both pieces of that, with both pieces of ourselves, in order to have a healthy relationship with both pieces of someone else's masculine and feminine. So I feel like for you, there's this message of needing to do some work with the masculine. And I feel like these cards are feeling very connected to me. So this also feels very personal. Like, I'm not going to give too much specific advice on how to do this or how to tap into this, what's coming up. I feel like this is very specific to you. If that's resonating, just set some time aside, see what comes up, see what you're being called to do, what you're being called to heal. Last messages for pile number 3. All right, first we've got turbulence. The mind is murky in rough waters. Yeah, I feel like some of you, there is some turbulence going on. I think your mind is kind of running out of control a little bit. And I'm also kind of getting, you know how we're talking about like you give this person a space to rest? I feel like this person lets your mind rest. Like that's the rest, the biggest rest that they offer you is they let your mind take a break. Because when we're getting into these oracle cards, like I was really getting energies and messages like your mind being overactive. And then this card comes up and basically spells that out. So I feel like you're being called to kind of do what you can to rein your mind in a little bit, but also a good indicator for you that like you found the right person, that you found someone who's potentially the right person, is how much do they ease your mind? How much do they quiet your mind? Direction, trust your inner compass and find your bearings. Yeah, you're really being called again to go inward. Your intuition is meant to be your guide right now. Your intuition is meant to be your guiding force. So coming back to that, cultivating that, nurturing that is your biggest priority right now. And it's all going to lead you to this beautiful connection. And on that note, pile number 3, I'm going to end this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I would really love to have you in future readings. If you would like a personal reading, I always have personal readings linked in the description box below. And if a reading isn't right for you, but you still want to support the channel in some way, I do have a donation linked below. Donations are never expected, but always appreciated, and they just go to support the channel. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, Pile 4. Welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at why your future spouse will choose you. All right, we've got 3 cards real fast. Let's see what else we've got for you. Pile number 4. And there we go. Man, yours came right out. Let's see what we've got. First up, we have the 2 of Swords, followed by the Strength card. Followed by the 2 of Wands. Next, the Queen of Wands reversed. Followed by the 8 of Wands reversed. And the Queen of Cups reversed. Okay. So one thing I found really interesting is that when I really started going through these cards, I felt myself really calming and grounding. Like, typically when I'm getting into these readings, like I kind of get on a roll. And I'm just channeling, and the things that are coming out. Sometimes I talk a little fast, you may have noticed. But when I started pulling these cards and really connecting with your energy here, I felt myself really calming down and really slowing down. And I feel like that is going to be one thing that your person is going to really appreciate about you. I feel like you help them slow down and calm down. Like your presence is just calm and steady for them. And like there's a soothing nature. This Strength card, we'll get into it more detail when we get to this card, but when this card came out, I got a very clear message of you give them the strength to move forward. Whether you give it to them directly or you inspire it within them, you help them find the strength to move forward. So kind of what I'm getting with this, I feel like your person has had some kind of trauma. It could be specific to a relationship, but I don't think it has to be. For some of them, I'm kind of getting a death that was really hard for them. I don't feel like they're in like deep grief when you meet them. Like I'm not getting that impression, but I still feel like they're kind of stuck. Like they're kind of stuck in whatever happened. Their energy is a little bit stuck. And I think there's something about you that gives them the strength to move forward. And I think part of it is like I'm getting a real sense of calm and peace. And I almost am getting this impression like you really listen. Like when someone is talking to you, when your person is talking to you, you really listen. And you're really good at validating what's being shared and offering support in that way. And I feel like that is something that your person is really going to value. That's something that's going to be a big reason why they choose you, is they feel really seen by you. Like, that's, to me, it's not just that you are a good listener, all that kind of stuff. It's that they feel really seen by you. And that is incredibly valuable to them. Let's get into the cards a little more specifically. Also, I think it's really interesting. We've got these 3 cards came up in the upright and these 3 came up in the reverse. So again, there's just this sense of balance of like, you're really good at engaging with people and engaging with the world, but you're also really good at stepping back and connecting with yourself with these reversals. And I feel like that is part of why you have this calm presence, why you have this grounding presence, is because you're really good at doing both. Like, it's in your nature. And if you don't feel like you're quite there yet, know this is the journey that I believe you are on. Okay, so now with this 2 of Swords, the 2 of Swords can speak to making decisions. I feel like that's something that you're probably pretty good at. Like, I of course, everybody has moments where they're indecisive, big decisions, that kind of stuff. But I feel like making day-to-day choices and being sure of the choices that you're making is just a strength for you. Like, I almost feel like kind of what's coming to me is like, I feel like your person asking what's for dinner, or not what's for dinner, what do you want for dinner? Like, what do you feel like for dinner? And you know how there's like that, like, kind of like couple thing where it's like you kind of go back and forth. I don't know. What do you feel like? That kind of thing. I almost feel like your person asks, what do you feel like for dinner? And you have an answer. You know exactly what you feel like for dinner. And I think they appreciate that about you. Like, you know what you want. You're able to make choices for yourself. Like, you're very decisive. And maybe sometimes you have to feel into it a little bit. But overall, I just feel like you're somebody, like, you know yourself. I think that's kind of the big message. I think you know yourself, and your person really appreciates that. They appreciate the way that not only do you know yourself, but you're willing to express it. You know, and of course, this isn't saying like you don't care what your partner would want to eat as well. Like, it's always a conversation, but when your person asks you what you're feeling like, you tell them. It's not some kind of like, oh, I don't know, what are you feeling like? Like, and even when you do know, like, sometimes, of course, we don't know. But what I'm talking about is like, if you know what you want, you're not just going to be polite and let them say what they want and go with that. You're going to say what you want. And your person likes that. They want to know what you want. Now, with the Strength card, we already kind of got into this a little bit. But yeah, I do feel like there is something heavy in their history. It might not be a death for everybody, but there is something kind of heavy in their history. And again, I do feel like they're not in the thick of it anymore when you come in. Like, I think it's like time has passed. Maybe they've done some healing. They've gotten used to this new reality of theirs, but there is still something that's keeping them stuck from an energetic place. Like, I'm almost getting this idea of like someone going through the motions of life. You know, they're showing up every day, but they're not really living. And there is something about you and your energy and your presence and the connection that you two have that gives this person the strength to move forward, that gives them the strength to get out of this stuck energy and actually step into the next phase of their life. And that is such a gift to them. Like, I'm not sure anything will ever be more meaningful to them. Like, you never have to give them anything else. This alone, I feel like you will have earned their unending loyalty just for this. And I just feel like they are somebody who I'm getting like a deep sense of gratitude for you. They are very grateful for you and like your presence alone. You literally do not have to do anything. Like, this isn't going to be someone who's like, what do you bring to the table? No, this is someone who's literally like, your presence alone, your perspective alone, your energy alone is all they want. And they are so grateful that you continue to choose them as much as they are choosing you. Now, with the Two of Wands here, I feel like, you know, like these cards to me are definitely working together. With the Two of Wands, I feel like they really love making plans for the future with you. The Two of Wands, it is a card of planning. It's kind of like having this moment where you realizing you can do anything. Like the world is in the palm of your hands and you can do anything. And I feel like it's like as they start to kind of get excited about life again and get this strength, the plans that the two of you make, like they're just so like, it's like the world is opening up for them. And they do just love to sit and dream with you. And of course, they want to make those dreams a reality, but just they're really enraptured by the possibility of living life with you, specifically you. And I'm just getting this really beautiful expansion energy coming from this, that like, I just feel like their world is opening up. Like that's the other thing too I'm getting with this Two of Wands. I feel like it's like spending time with you is teaching them to meet possibility again. And because of whatever happened, whatever was in their history, I think they kind of have cut themselves off from that. So re-meeting possibility, re-meeting excitement. Like, again, all of this is just the gift that keeps on giving to them. And they love planning for the future with you. Because I think they haven't for so long. Like there was so much like just day to day going through the motions, like whatever, for you to bring this kind of joy and light. And I don't even think, again, like I don't think there's anything specifically that you are doing. Like I don't think it's like you're showing up with some grand plan or anything. It's just like your existence, your general way of being is bringing this out of them. And perhaps you like to do this stuff too. You like to plan for the future. You like to have things to look forward to. And that's just waking this up in them. With the Queen of Wands reversed here, I really love that we have these two queens coming up. I do feel like because we have these queens, you probably are someone who's more in your feminine. Everybody has both masculine and feminine energies. It's not related to gender. But I do feel like you are probably somebody who is more in their feminine. Doesn't have to be though. But either way, I do feel like with this Queen of Wands reverse energy, I feel like you are very confident in who you are. When the Queen of Wands is upright, she's kind of like the big party host. Like she likes to host, have people over, really great. Like kind of, we talk about having like a more extroverted personality. Like she's good in social situations, that kind of stuff. She's also, but in general, she's a very confident character. Like that's the big thing with the Queen of Wands. She is confident. She is out there in the world, living her truth, being her best self. Like just like this very like passionate, excited, almost bubbly person. This reversal to me, it's more self-confidence. Like this is knowing who you are and really not caring about being out there with it. It's like, it's a quiet confidence is kind of the energy, especially in your reading, in this particular reading. I'm getting this like quiet, grounded confidence. It's not in your face. It's just there. And there's a steady presence with that I think, again, is just very attractive to your person. Especially because I feel like, again, like they're kind of coming back like online again. And I don't think being too out there is what they need. So the fact that you are like just like super chill, again, is just so soothing to them. And just, again, there's just so much calming energy, especially in this back half of the reading. Which leads us to the Eight of Wands. When the Eight of Wands is upright, it's this really fast-moving energy. I mean, this card kind of looks the same no matter what position it's in, right? In this particular deck. Like, it's the same image when it's upright or when it's in the reverse. You notice how we have these wands that are all moving out. Like, they've got this light, and it's like, that to me is the direction that they're moving in. Like, they're moving outward. They're moving away. And there's typically, when this card is upright, it talks to things happening very quickly. Very fast-moving energy. This reversal, to me, it's slowing things down. And I think that's also part of what this person appreciates. Like, I feel like you live at a slower pace. Or if it's not, it's something you are cultivating right now. If you're not quite there yet, there is some part of your life that is a little bit slower, a little bit calmer, a little bit more intentional. And as this person's starting to emerge, that is exactly what they need. And I think beyond like starting to emerge, but I feel like it's like because they're coming out, like they're not looking for someone who's going to push them to move quickly, to do all of this stuff. Like, okay, great, you're back online. Let's go do all the things that you've missed out on for however long that you've been moving slowly. No, this person needs like again, more intentional actions and movements and planning. And in general, I just feel like they appreciate that pace anyway. Like, I don't feel like there's somebody who wants to move particularly fast, even if they used to live that way. There's just something about the very stable and steady pace that you live your life that, again, they find very attractive, that they find very comforting and very soothing. And then with this Queen of Cups reversed energy, this to me is really speaking to, it's also really interesting. This is like the way this card is mirroring itself. What I'm getting with this in general, getting ahead of myself. Okay, so the Queen of Cups reversed, to me, this is having a lot of connection to your emotions, having a lot of emotional intelligence, and just a really good relationship with your intuition. And again, because it's in the reversed form, it's not super flashy or super out there. It might not be something most people even know about you until they have a good conversation with you, like this person will do. Also, with this mirrored image, I feel like you are really good at mirroring emotions back to people. You are probably very empathic, possibly highly sensitive. And highly sensitive people, they've done research on this, have mirror neurons that are more active than others, than non-highly sensitive people. So what mirror neurons do is that they help you mirror someone else's experience back to them, and that's going to comfort them. Like, that helps you understand and kind of get into that energy and have empathy for them. But also it creates connection. So I feel like your ability to be so emotionally in tune and so emotionally aware is a big piece of what this person is attracted to and why this person chooses you. They appreciate that sensitivity and they're going to protect it. So if you've ever been like told you're too sensitive or you shouldn't be crying or whatever, they're not going to stand for that if somebody tries to tell you that going forward, because they're going to see your sensitivity as such an incredible gift and such an incredible strength. All right, let's get some oracle cards on here. What else can you tell us about this connection for pile number 4? Fall in love with your own story. Okay, so I really love this because here's why. What I'm getting with this is, and this has been interesting because the oracle cards, I didn't intend for this to happen, but it has happened that these cards answer the question of why your person will choose you, while the oracle cards seem to give advice on how to step into this energy more directly and how to put yourself on your path to this person. And with this, I think it's really interesting, this fall in love with your own story, because I feel like this is advice for you. Like, to get fully into this energy, to fully put yourself on the path to this person, and to having these qualities that this person is going to find so attractive, you're really being encouraged to fall in love with your own story. And here's why. We all have parts of our story that I think we kind of get hung up on, that we kind of question of like, oh, if someone knows this, will they still like me? Will they still be attracted to me? Like, if you want a partner, like, do you feel like you have to hide that from them, or like that's not going to be something that someone would like? But the reality is, everyone has those bits. Everyone has some part of their story that they are ashamed of. Your person certainly does. And I feel like it's you falling in love with your own story and you fully owning and accepting your experience and understanding you were doing the best with what you had and the lessons that you had to learn, all of that kind of stuff. When you can fully fall in love with your own story, that's how you meet someone else's story with even less judgment and with even less, with more openness, I guess, is actually the better way to put it. It's how you meet someone else's story with more openness. And it's also how you create a deeper connection, because when you own your story fully, when someone else shares their vulnerable story, you're more able to share your own and to own that. And that's inherently going to create connection. And next we have magic happens when you most expect it. So I feel like this is a call to embrace more magic in your life, to really expect magic to show up for you. We also have number 44 here, so that could be a relevant number for you. But I feel like I am getting that this is with regards to your person coming in, especially if you are not in a connection currently. This is going to happen when you most expect it. So you need to know this person is out there. Like, live your life as if you know you will come into contact with them. And just trust in that. Just trust in it. You don't have to put yourself on a timetable. You don't have to do a lot of extra to make this happen. You just have to expect it to. All right, let's see what else we've got. We've got 3 of these for you. We'll take them. All right, the sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care. Yeah. Especially if you are highly sensitive, all of these energies that we were getting from you, taking care of yourself is such a priority. Like, you really do have to double down on what you need. And you've got to trust that, and you've got to set the boundaries that you need to set. Especially like we talked about, if there are people who have ever like given you a hard time for your sensitivities, for how emotionally intelligent you are and your ability to pick up on emotion, you've got to do what you need to protect yourself from those people. I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, taking care of yourself is such a priority. And I almost feel like it's like I'm almost getting like this is a message like from like your person's higher self that like, just take care of yourself. I feel like this person is going to want to, again, like we talked about, like the gifts you're giving them, like they're going to want to, they're all in for you, like 100% all in. They are going to want to take care of you in every way they are able to, but they also want you to take care of yourself. The crowning, initiation, thresholds, birth, rebirth, a seat at the table. I am actually feeling like you are going through some kind of a change and transformation. Most of you watching this. I feel like it's like I feel like you are close to stepping into this energy. If you aren't there yet, you are very close to stepping into this energy. And you're being encouraged to just lean in, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's a little just like sticky, I guess is the best word. But I also feel like one thing you need to know, again, it's like you don't have anything to prove. I don't know why I'm getting that message with this card, but like you don't have anything to prove. It goes back to like your person, they're attracted to your energy, you, the heart of who you are. That's why they're choosing you. You don't have to prove anything. Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. Yeah, I was getting this energy from you so much. Like I do, especially, I didn't even talk about this with the Wands and the Cups, Queen of Wands and Queen of Cups coming up. When I get Cups and Wands cards together, but especially in this case where we've got 2 queens of those suits, that to me is big creative energy. Like that is because each of those suits have a piece of creativity to them. So when you get both of them together, I do feel like you are a very creative person and you are really being encouraged to lean into that. Like artist, writer, channel, I feel like you are a little bit of a channel, whether you realize it or not, whether you intend to be or not. And I think this is really a message to lean into that, to let what wants to be created move through you and to just embrace it. Like it's kind of what like the big message I'm getting for you is just embrace this. Embrace what wants to be birthed. And all of that just like I feel like it's relevant because it leads to a deeper connection to self. And again, especially if you are highly sensitive, and I do believe most of you watching this are, you are probably more creative than you realize. If you have not played with your creativity in a while, this is a call to tap back into it. And last messages for you. For pile number 4, what last messages do we have? All right, we've got travel. So if you are, I feel like you're being encouraged to plan a trip. Again, it goes back to this planning. Like that could be something that's really fun for you is planning trips, taking trips. It doesn't even have to be a big trip if that's not like in the budget right now. It can just be a day trip, but like you're being, I'm almost getting like have more fun is kind of the energy for you for right now, is tapping into a little bit of fun, a little bit of playful energy, and exploratory energy. It's just, and it's the idea of planning for the future. I do feel like that's a really big quality that you bring. So let yourself plan for the future. Dream. Yeah. Again, like it's the same energy of like really calling in this, like this dreaming mentality, this dreaming ability, this idea that like there's something to live for. I think that is something that your person is really, really attracted to, really called to. It helps wake them back up, but I think it is just naturally who you are. So keep dreaming. Like, I think you already do this, but I feel like this is just keep dreaming. Unless we have self-care again. This is a priority for you. Like, this literally came up twice. This is a priority for you. I don't need to expand on this anymore. So just please make that a priority for yourself. But on that note, pile number 4, I'm going to end this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you in future videos. If you would like a personal experience, you can always find personal readings linked in the description box below. And if a reading isn't right for you right now, but you want to support the channel, you can also find a donation linked in the description box below. Donations are never expected, but always appreciated, and it all goes to support the growth of the channel. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.